Yeah, so I want to talk about the subliminal nature of money power and the beast mind. This is something a topic. It's such obvious truth. It's such obvious reality. It's such obvious biblical dialogue that it has to be censored by these people. It has to be censored by people. Do not understand. Like, the religion of Roman Catholicism is not Christianity. The religion of Roman Catholicism is the beast system. That it's very simple. It's very obvious, and that subliminal money power. That's the directing power. And if you look into it, there's esoteric groups who recognize the nature of this existence in a supernatural format. They recognize that this money power is, dedicating the human condition on Earth, and they're aware of it, and they're in alignment with it for many reasons. And if you look in the biblical standard, you're not supposed to be in line with it. It's like there's a warning. So hey, don't be polarized to the money power. Yet these ecclesiastic organizations naming themselves to be in Yahweh's name, in Jehovah's name. Okay, you look at so many different organizations in the name of Yahweh, in the name of Jehovah. They're aligned to this money power, and their argumentation, you're beneath them. They don't need to deal with you. You're insignificant. They're with the money power in a higher recognition. You're not going to reason with them, but the Bible doesn't give them stance in that. They go, no, the Bible doesn't say there's special people in cahoots with the overlords, and we have to recognize their superiority in dealing with these matters. All these matters were given unto the human people in our authority to have access to dominion. That's the biblical context, that's why they have to censor it, because, well, the church says, yeah, the Bible might say that, but we disagree, and we're with the higher, power. So that's why they're censoring, people who point out that, hey, the Bible would give humanity authority over the earth and dominion to humanity, and that humanity is to be in the light of day, not in the esoteric shadows. See, this is the censored dialogue. That's why the censors are like, oh, the Bible doesn't want to tell you that. That's not what it says. We're the Bible experts, and we are in charge, and we have the esoteric occult, ruling place. That's our divine right. And you got to understand that this is a concept that we see. The censors and esotericists are one in one with this belief. But is it humane? Is it honoring Yahweh? Is it honoring Jesus? No, it's not. But it's honoring the ones who murdered Jesus. That's what it is. And I want to point further at what this really looks. It's an obvious thing. The censors are concealing what's obvious. The censors are very important to Satan's power. Without the censors, Satan wouldn't have any power in the modern day. Without censorship, Satan wouldn't have any power in the modern day. Anybody calling themselves Christian and censoring the dialogue of politics, religion, or economics is clearly satanic. Clearly satanic. Everything evil that's taking place on earth right now, they are directly responsible and guilty of it. So we're not like exaggerating their credit by saying, oh, they're just censoring people. They're good boys. They just censor people. No. Everything that's absolutely bonkers that's going on, they're directly responsible. Well, they're indirectly. That's not direct. No, it's direct. So I want to clarify something about what's obvious. So we see these antichrists, and they're not motivated to stop all the mayhem and nonsense. What they're motivated to do is to get rid of anybody with piety for Yahweh, anyone with a moral objectivity. So without morals, everything is clean. That's the simple-mindedness of the cognitively dissonant beast people, the people of the beast, mark of the beast. But here, so it's obvious. These people are saying, okay, and you can see it's being promoted. This is the social media is being promoted. Every one of these thousands of people, they're saying they don't have free will. There's no free will. And they're really convoluted in what they're saying, okay? And they're censored. It's like only about like a third of my comments gets through. It's a filter. You can't make a clear point. I have a whole bunch of screenshots to show like what's being censored. It's ridiculous. It's like, whoa. Try to say this. It's not, I'm not using like buzzwords. It's just I'm clarifying the nature of their corruption. That's what it is. It's clarifying the nature of their corruption in their ideology is censorable. But what they're saying is there's no free will. Here's an example. Someone says, well, under the Abrahamic God, there is no free will. It's like, so what are you saying? You believe in the Abrahamic God? You believe in the Abrahamic God, but you're against the Abrahamic God. That's what you're saying. And you're in the weeds already, because it's like, with or without the Abrahamic God, they're saying there's no free will. Okay? This is like, their argument is no more rational value. There's no more rational value in their arguments. They are the inert everything. So when you look at like narcissists in our malignant behavior, okay, believe the ones who are grounded with the nullification of truth, they think anybody who's rational is narcissistic. That's why they've been using the word, they try to rationalize. Imagine if someone's innocent of a crime and you're trying to impress that he's guilty. And then you go, well, look, he's trying to rationalize that he's innocent. Look, oh my God, he's guilty. He's trying. And that's how these people are behaving. So if just by rationalizing, you're guilty. And you have to understand, it's millions and billions of people like this. You're in a room with 1,000 people. They're all going to incriminate you. Oh, he's rationalizing. That means he's guilty. And that's the mind of the beast. And they're all in lockstep this way. So again, what the censors are concealing is what's obvious. So these people are saying there's no free will, yet they're saying there's no free will, but they are morally and intellectually superior. Okay? So you got to understand, when you're dealing with these people who are, if you turn the news on and people can say, hey, there's a bunch of lying going on, and there's people who are ludicrous with their ideologies, and you can hear this, people are passively talking about this, like superficially, you can hear all these different people going, yeah, we've really entered into the lunatic territory with our ideologies, but they're not grasping the fuller picture. We're really dealing with the Antichrist, and specifically the Antichrist. So the people who are saying there's no free will, but they're saying that they have an intellectual and moral superiority to people who believe in the Abrahamic God. Okay, and they're trying to say that this is very clear, very scientific. They are the moral majority. They are the intellectual superiors, and they don't believe in free will. Okay, it becomes a deadness of mind. Okay, which is not a human mind. They're not people of understanding. They're not rational. Okay, and rational is a word. It means something. That's not a word. That's evil to them. They are the divine perfection. They're the omniscient, the holistic omniscience. Okay, this is what they think. There's a whole picture, and they have to remove humanity. Humanity is what's problematic. Anybody who rationalizes, reality, you need the knowing people who are in tune. They're connected with one. They're the holistic omniscience, and that's the spirit of Satan. But you see that they're really running around and they're accusing Yahweh and his adherents of being the criminals. And you can see it in their policy. They're really doing this. And just to put an obvious perspective on it, so if you're sitting here as a devout Christian and you don't lie to people, you've never lied to any one person in your life, your whole life, you've never stolen a penny, okay? And you live, in devotion by the doctrine of Christ, okay? What fault can we have on these people? But these narcissists of evil, they're just pinning them for all that's evil, all the evil that's being done. So you see like people trading weapons and guns and drugs and children. That's okay. But to be a devout Christian, that's not okay. And this is the obvious thing. There's something backwards with these people. But they feel quite correct. And you got to understand, when you're in alignment with this, you might have a high-paying job, just like, routing out the Christians and putting them in slave camps, stealing all their properties. So if you're stealing the properties of the people who are like, ABC 1, 2, 3, they're working the ground, they're building things, they're being beneficent to humanity. Yeah, stealing from them, that might be a lucrative thing. And it is. You can see that's what these corrupt political parties are doing. They're really just enslaving people. You can see that the dialogue is the subliminal money power must be understood and everyone must be in tune with it, and nothing else is permissible. We need to just remove any kind of ideology that humans have rights and that there's truth out there. What we need to do is polarize ourselves to the subliminal money power. And that's the divine thing to do. Because you understand, these people saying that there's no free will, that Yahweh is evil, the demiurges, this is atheists and Gnostics and all kinds of different religious peoples. All kinds of different religious peoples are saying, yeah, Yahweh is evil and Christ was a lie and an enslavement. These people are just trying to abuse the honest civilians. And you can see this is the policy of the Uniparty. They want the criminals to be armed and the citizens to be disarmed. You don't have a day in court. You just have eternity in slavery, in jail. And again, the reasoning behind this, you can look at these people who are censoring people, these atheists. They're saying, oh my God, Yahweh is so evil. The Abrahamic God is so evil. There's no free will. He's so evil. He just has heaven and hell under his authority, and he's so evil. He's so evil. And they're not rational human beings. These are narcissists. They're the spirit of Satan. They're the spirit of Satan. They're considering themselves to be all-knowing, all-powerful, all-right, blameless. And it's their thing to do is to slander the innocent. And they feel there's no evil in it. To slander the innocent, there's nothing evil about it. What there is evil is to believe that there's truth and humanity out there. That's what's evil. And I mean, people got to understand, like, the hypocrisy and nonsense, the nonsensical nature of it. The censors need to confuse the dialogues. This was a kind of like a rambled speech, but every little facet of what I was saying is being censored. And it sounds like, well, none of that's happening. That's not true. That's not true. No, all of that's happening. All those little facets are being censored. And if you can just merely point it out, they'll be caught with their pants down. But the censors are protecting them. Like, the people who fall in that belief system where, yeah, everything's good except for Yahweh and Jesus and his disciples. They feel like that's smart. It's correct. They go, yeah, my God, that brutal, Hebrew God, he's such a terrible person. Look at the Egyptian firstborn. Oh my God. Oh my God. Meanwhile, they're neglecting the deeper meanings of things. And the obvious thing that, like, wait, who's trafficking drugs, weapons, and children, lying on the news and being decadent rulers over who's doing that? It's not Yahweh who's doing that. It's these people who are against Yahweh who's doing that. You understand? This is the thing. And Jesus didn't disarm the people, and Yahweh didn't disarm the people. He said, we have authority over the beasts of the earth. Again, the Catholics are censoring us. They don't want you to know that we have authority over the beasts of the earth. It means, like, if you're a lying Catholic, we as a human beings have a right to apprehend you. Okay, and believe it, they're just saying we as devil worshippers have rights to apprehend humanity. So if you're not lying, we have a right to slander you, and you have a free will to do that, but it's not right. See, that's the thing. They have a free will to do, and they're doing it. This is what these people are doing. They're doing this.